to have. Learn to accept that everyone deserves respect. Uniting all their hearts with a gesture of affection. Finding our happiness will be spreading joy. There is no other way. Charity is the solution. Only one love, only one ideal. So love and peace in the world. Come gather us. Feel the life within ourselves, and love will certainly appear. And the world will be in peace. Only one love, only love, my dear. So love and peace in the world. Come gather us. Feel the life within ourselves, and love will certainly appear. And the world will be in peace.
Is there life after death? Would you like to learn more about it? Join us to study and learn together about this and many other topics.
When life lends a hand, it is time to open up your heart. It's time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always. Loving, serving everyone. Vibrate always. Loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart and charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dream become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always. Loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always. Loving and serving everyone. When we give our hearts in charity, our lives are transforming into song. Our dream become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Blue crystal eyes, colors of the sky. Gray bushy beard, Santa look-alike. Shine on your brothers on earth. Suffering, living joy, pouring pain. Blue crystal
colors of the sky. Great bushy beards, Santa Luca light, shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, baby joy, or in pain. Blessed Haji Menezes, Apostle of the good, receive our prayers and also our heart. Blessed Haji Menezes, Apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold night, support and comfort, support and comfort, as they from down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always leads me. The solution lies in our Lord. The solution lies in our Lord. Oh, my mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings. Make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome one more evening where we have our Spiritist talk. So we have one more talk tonight, continuing our series of studies of the Gospel according to Spiritism. Now, we have a couple announcements to make, so I'm going to share my screen here. And there we are. So we have a couple of announcements. Please turn off your phone notifications so you won't be distracted during our meeting, and you can take the take the best advantage of our time together. Please also find a quiet place, if possible, to listen to tonight's study and receive passes. Our meeting will be about 30 minutes of as a presentation, and a meeting presentation followed by 10 minutes of question and answers, and followed by a spiritual treatment. So we ask you then to have a container of water to be magnetized, and that can be shared with the whole family after the meeting. One announcement for everyone to put in your calendars, and we will have a special meeting happening in January 29th from 9:30 to 2:30. We'll have more details on the schedule for the day, but this day will be very special. We'll have guests coming to talk about many topics, including about planetary transition. So the changes that are happening on Earth right now that we are experiencing. So who don't want to know more about that, right? So please join us for this day that will be very enjoyable. We'll be able to share lots of teachings from Spiritism that will make lots of peace in to our hearts. There'll be also a talk about depression during the pandemic times and mental health in general. So another opportunity also for us to learn and to to take some steps, right, to protect ourselves, to be safe during this time, spiritually, of course. And also, we'll have a talk about charity. So, how can we practice charity here in Canada and anywhere in the world? So, we'll have some examples of what people are doing around the world to spread joy and be charitable. So, January 29th, starting at 9:30. Okay. So we have also another announcement. It's about our courses. And we have here Marceli that has a special message and an invitation to make. And
What is reincarnation? Would you like to know more about it? So join us to start and learn together about this amazing topic.
yeah, so sorry. Yeah, so that is our new session of courses, introductory course on Spiritism. If you are enjoying our lives and Spiritism in general and would like to have a way to systematically study Spiritism and the basic ideas about Spiritism, come and join us starting in February 5th, every Saturday. Our courses are all online happening through Zoom and free of charge. So come and if you have more questions, you can reach us out through our social media, email as well to have more details about it as well. Right? And you can contact us through Facebook and also through YouTube. And tonight, you can also participate, leaving your comments on the chat box in both Facebook and YouTube, and also leaving your questions, and we'll be happy to answer at the end of the talk. Okay. So today's talk, we are going to start then now with opening prayer before we get before we just 1 second because I lost everybody here. Where? Here we go. Okay, so before we start with the talk, let's do our opening prayer. Okay, so I invite everyone to join me in this prayer. Let's close our eyes to help with our concentration. And let's mentalize, imagine a peaceful place that brings us peace, brings us balance, help us clear our minds from our daily problems, from all the stress and agitation from our daily lives. Let's elevate our thoughts and try to reach the good spirits in a level above us where we can feel the light that warm us up, that bring us clarity in our thoughts and peace to our hearts. And at this level where we can find this, let's imagine our Master Jesus with open arms, with a friendly smile in the face, inviting us to join him tonight to learn teachings that will bring us joy right now in our lives. We are so thankful, dear God, for this opportunity to be together, to learn, to study enlightening lessons in the middle of sometimes our disturbing day. We are thankful for finding these pieces of time where we can be together, encourage, find encouragement, and find answers to questions that our soul so hardly try to find. We ask that tonight's meeting we can have one more time good lessons that will help us to be on the right path every day, to be good neighbors, to be more charitable and tolerant with ourselves and with others. So we are thankful, Master Jesus, because we have always good spirits, messengers of the light around us, help us with good intuition to be able to understand and capture the lessons that we need. So for that, we thank you and ask the good spirits to be with us during this meeting. So be it. Okay. So tonight's meeting, we'll have a talk on the topic is entitled Earth's Destiny, the Cause of Earthly Miseries. So who don't want to know that, right? What is the destiny of the earth and why we have miseries in the that we face, right? So hopefully this lesson will help us, right, today. So this is part of chapter 3 from the Gospel according to Spiritism. There are many dwellings in my Father's house, right? Items 6, 7, and 13 and 15. And today we have Rodrigo from Ottawa to help us to study this topic. So, Rodrigo, that's with you, please.
Oh, good
Hello.
night. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you very much for all these words. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, before I start, I'd like to first thank you all for being here and also wish you a great year. This will be the first talking of this year. And I hope that we can have a great 2022, right? With all the energy prepared to make a great year. And yes, and it'll be a great opportunity to start this talking about the gospel according to Spiritism, as always, and bring some information about Earth destiny, right? We see many things happening these years and on the last years, and maybe we can ask about ourselves what's going on with the Earth, like with all the situation we are passing, like COVID and so many other things happening, good and bad things, right? And maybe the talk of today can help with some information about it. As Veronica already said, it'll be chapter 3 and precisely about the items 6, 7, 13, 14, and 15, all about Earth's destiny. And then to start, I'm bringing item 6 when we have the talkings from the spirits when they say, surprised at finding on earth so much weakness and evil passion, so many miseries and infirmities of every sort, one might come into the conclusion that the human species is very sad thing indeed. Well, yes, maybe in almost with all the situation we are passing, so many difficulties happening in many places, nobody is free of that. We can start thinking, okay, maybe the human species are very sad. We are not good enough to make changes in this world. All this situation, and also when you turn on your television or go on your cell phone searching for news, probably also see a lot of difficulties, right? Because we also know communications normally emphasize the difficulties, but what they say to us, the spirits, is that one must remember that not all humankind is to be found on Earth, but only a tiny fraction of it. It means the humankind is much more than we are seeing right now on the Earth. The spiritual world is full of humankinds and many other planets also we have. And this gives us a better idea, and maybe we can start thinking what we are seeing now, all the difficulties we are facing, all the evil you may are seeing right now is not the representation of all humankind. There is much more. We are just not able to see it because we are all incarnated. But this can bring us some peace of heart because we can start understanding this is just a small piece of all this. And before I move on, I like to show you something. And this is a good moment because, as Veronica also said, we will be having a course, Get to Know Spiritism, where all this will be explained in details. But what we also know, we have words where everything is prepared. We have primitive words, words of trial and expiation, regenerative words, and purified words. The spirits, they say to us through the teachings that the number of different words and levels are infinite, right? But they trying to explain to us and make a little bit easy, separate that words in some groups where we can understand that we know there is a law of progression and evolution. And those laws, they apply to ourselves as a humankind and spirits, but also to the words. And today I will talk about this specific class as we have the earth included on it, the words of trial and expiation. And they ask, what is Earth's population when compared to the total population of those words? When we think about that, and when we visualize the universe and its infinity of planets, stars, and we can think a little bit better. Earth is just a very small fraction, and people on it is also a tiny fraction, right? And they say it's like a tiny village when compared to the great empire. There is much more. There's much more to see and also to understand. And this gives us a better idea about God's justice and creation. Because otherwise we can see the universe and think, like, how that's possible, right? Just having life on Earth, and how about all these other planets and possibilities? But as I said, we will address that all this during the course. But today I will talk about Earth and its population. And they say about the inhabitants of a large city. Like when we understand the Earth, it's like someone who come into a large city and just judge that population for some places. And they say like for seeing just the hospital. And if you just see the hospital of a large city, you may think all the people there are sick. Or maybe you're just seeing the penitentiary and seeing a lot of vices, loneliness, or unhealthy regions where the most of inhabitants are pale, weak, and sickly. And even though when we just see these three places in a city, maybe after that first impression we have, right? What makes us can make us a little bit scary and judge that place. Okay, this city is just difficult and challenges. But if you look a little bit better on that hospital, for example, maybe you start seeing care. We'll see people suffering, but also people trying to help them improve their lives. And you can see connections, love. Maybe on the penitentiary, you see, as I said, uh, turpitudes, vices, loneliness, crimes. But maybe you also see hope, people getting together in the same situation and trying to help each other. Visitors coming from outside bringing help. And visiting with care that unhealthy regions, you can also try and see more improvements in health and happiness. And this is why we can change this reality. We can go to these places where we are and trying to see something better, trying to make changes with different thinking, different thoughts, bringing ideas to transform them, that places, to elevate the spirit, to elevate the feelings, and make those who suffering there a little bit better. And then all those places can be interpreted as a place, not an ending place. And here they say, and just as one leaves the hospital when one has been cured, and the prison when one has served on time, humans leave the earth for happier words when they have been healed of their moral infirmities. Well, when we understand that the earth is not our final destiny, is just part of our evolution, we can for sure understand that moment, or this moment we are seeing, we are living now as a school. All those miseries we are may facing or seeing can be interpreted as an opportunity for those who needs to be cured or needs to serve in one time or need to change themselves. And because we are here with all of those together, suffering the same, passing for the same difficulties, learning in the same process, we may think that is ours a great opportunity for ourselves to do something better, to reinterpret the difficulties. And because we are spirit beings having for a time a material life, we can also be sure this is not the ending, not for Earth and also not for us. And this transformation will and must be inside out. We need to learn something different. And this is something which the spirits can help us because, well, being incarnate make us see the life with a lot of passion. And sometimes the passion can blind us for some realities, some truth. And because they are free of that, they help us to see better. They help us to see the meaning of life and the right things we need to do. And as a philosopher once said, the best we can do is know ourselves to change. There is no way to change truthfully without knowing ourselves, right? And the spirituals help us to do that. And how can we change this? What is the path of transformation we can follow? Well, here's one of the questions who Allan Kardec made to the spirits. He asked, what is the true meaning of the word charity as Jesus understood it? Well, we just passed through the holidays, Christmas time, and we know this time is full of charity opportunities. And I hope that we can bring the same feelings to all this month through to 2022. But what is the real meaning of charity, as Jesus mentioned? And they explain benevolence toward everyone, indulgence toward the imperfections of others, and forgiveness for offenses. Well, at this time of the year, we promise so many things to ourselves, right? We want to lose weight, maybe we want to change some habits. January is also an opportunity to set up goals for the entire year. And why not set a goal of charity? I can tell you for myself, it's really hard to go over all these goals, all these topics, but maybe why not try be a little bit more benevolent? And maybe we are not able to do it like Jesus, be that benevolent for all, but we can try. We can try and be benevolent with someone in our house, our family, our neighbor. We all start restarting our work. Maybe you can try and be benevolent with some other. Try understand the other's imperfections. Maybe put in practice the forgiveness. And we will see that small steps we take will open a great way of transformation. Well, we saw that the words are divided by different levels of evolution, and the planet Earth is one of that words of trial and expiation. And what more can I tell the spirits? The spirits tell us about these words of expiation that what you already know, since all you have to do is consider the earth that you inhabit. Well, we know earth, we live in it, we know the difficulties, we know all the trials maybe all the expiations we are passing. And now we know that all this is just a part of evolution, not only our evolution, but also the planet itself. And how can we see each other on this planet? Planet Earth is full of people who have superior intelligence of a large number of its inhabitants. For sure, we are today talking through all this knowledge using tools of technology. Anyone in the world with the right link can watch this talk live. This is a proof we have a lot of superior intelligence here. Certain amount of progress, and here we have a combination: physical, material progress, and moral one. And for that second part, we know we have a lot of to go, right? We have a lot of to do to evolve in a moral perspective. Here, why we have a great moral imperfection, a lot of vices. God has placed them on ungrateful earth. And here I like to say it's ungrateful the same level we make it. If you change ourselves, if you make more charity actions, if you help each other more, this can be a very different place. The miseries of life until they have merit to going to a happier world. This happier world can be the earth itself as long we are able to transform it and make it a better place. Or maybe we do a so great job helping people, then we have the merit to go before the earth to another planet. Nevertheless, not all the spirits that incarnate on earth are sent there in expiation. The so-called primitive peoples are spirits who have just left infants and who are there for an education. On earth, you have different levels of evolution, like people in the same level in this trial and expiation. Also, some people who are just leaving the infants and starting the same level. And we also have here more evolved people from another places, from another country, another planets. And why they are here? Because as we have this image, maybe they have a knowledge who it's similar to superpowers, right? They have the knowledge, they know a lot of technologies, but they think a lot about themselves. They are selfish. They are not prepared yet to live in a better place because their moral level is not enough for that. And then they receive not a punishment, but they receive an opportunity to be with us on earth, to help us with our need in the material evolution, bringing some ideas, some revolutionary ideas, some revolutionary technologies. And we help them to learn, to love, to learn, to care, helping us as they will take care of us. And we help each other on this path of evolution. And they pass this time, as I say, and they have the mission of helping them advance. I love this image. Who watched my talks before probably saw that also, because we just measure our level of evolution if we are able to help others, right? There's no meaning of going up if you cannot help someone who is also coming. And this is why God helped those spirits coming to earth to help us in our needs and also be part of the process of evolution. And they will receive also the opportunity of improve their moral feelings and be a better humankind. And maybe they return to their place or stay with us, as many also did. Consequently, the earth portrays one of the types of expiatory words, whose variety is infinite, as I say, although they all possess the common characteristic of serving as a place of exile for spirits who have rebel against the law of God. Well, again, some people maybe see all these problems on earth and think, okay, maybe God is punishing us. But the truth is, all these difficulties, it's what we are right now. We don't need to be this way. We can change it. We can start changing ourselves, and then change the other. But this is actually a great, great opportunity for all of us of changing and making something better, to reevaluate our steps and start again. And this is great because I'm talking today, as I say, in the first talking of the year, and there's no better opportunity, right? Because we can start the year thinking about it and say, okay, how can I change my condition? If I'm not liking the world I'm living in, how can I make that better? How can I improve my neighborhood, myself, my home, my work? How can I do charity? And all this situation, all this we are passing simultaneously with all this wickedness of mankind and all this clemency of nature, is a way to develop the quality of heart and intelligence. See, we have spirits who are just starting here. We have almost all of us that one who follows the path of evolution. And we also have that ones who come from another places, seeking the opportunity of developing their hearts, helping us with our intelligence. We can see here the justice of God everywhere as an opportunity for many different paths. And who are the angels? According to Spiritism, souls or spirits are created simple and ignorant. That is, without knowledge or awareness of good and evil, but they are capable of acquiring all they lack through labor. Again, God created us simple, ignorant, all the same. And then we can develop ourselves. He gave us that merit. The goal for all of us is the perfection. Same. We all will be there at some point of our existence. And when we are there, it will be forever. But, and this is also great, the speed at which they achieved, it depends on their free will and their own efforts. We are all free to do. We have that free will. If you want to be better, if you want to do better, depends on us to follow that step, our efforts to achieve that goal. And what is the best way to start the year? Then think about that. I want to be better. Probably, I can say that. I will not be perfect this year, right? But for sure, I can be a little bit better this year, at the end of the year, as I am today. Human beings are not limited to the earth. They inhabited countless worlds revolving through space. They once inhabited worlds that have already disappeared, and they will inhabit those that are yet to form. We don't need to worry about Earth for sure. We have to take care of it because, as Jesus said, the first commandment is love God, right? And all his creation. But the earth is part of it. We exist before the earth and you'll be after it. As God has created through the eternity and will never stop, never cease creating. And well, talking about goals, who are that who already achieved the purified spirit level? They comprehend God and the infinite. Probably, or maybe we are not on that level, right? We cannot comprehend God in its complexity, and we are far from the understand the infinity. But we can add some steps on it. And they already enjoy the happiness of the morality upright. We know that when we do better to others, we also receive the same. And when we do something to help the other people, like our neighbor as ourselves, there is nothing better we can feel. That greatness feel of being the joy of helping others. In addition, they feel happy when they do good and win the evil. Like they love that unites them in a source of ineffable happiness that cannot be affected by envy, remorse, or any of the other evil passions afflicting imperfect spirits. Love is something we also have to learn. The level of love without possessing it, without having that desire. The love is just for me, it's just for myself. I don't want to share with this with anyone. When we discover that the real love is the love we can share, is not only for us but for everyone, helping others, for sure we will be a little bit closer that purified spirits. Nevertheless, they must continue to undergo trials until they reach perfection. Just there, we will be free of these trials, and just then, it means, again, when we look Earth, all these trials and difficulties, for sure, we can understand we are far from the perfection, but we are going there. And maybe the trials you are facing, under your perspective, are really difficult and serious. But when we see others passing for trials much more harder, maybe we can rethink that and understand we have a lot of opportunities to change, to evolve. Before I finalize, I'd like to share a video with you. And this video will show a sample of things we can do. Sometimes we may do, we start thinking about do a bad thing, but that can transform. And every action we do, we don't know the results of that, but if you do something good, even something like a coin, small coin, as we will see in this video, this can be a great transformation, and that transformation can affect us as well. Let me just open here, and I'll be back soon.
We sang together, we prayed together, we listened quietly while Mother read Bible and Book of Mormon stories. Father told us stories out of his memory. I still remember one of those stories. I found it recently while going through a book he had published some years ago. Listen to it. An older boy and his young companion were walking along a road which led through a field. They saw an old coat and a badly worn pair of men's shoes by the roadside, and in the distance they saw the owner working in the field. The younger boy suggested that they hide the shoes, conceal themselves, and watch the perplexity on the owner's face when he returned. The older boy thought that would not be so good. He said this owner must be a very poor man from the looks of his clothes. So after talking the matter over at his suggestion, they concluded to try another experiment. Instead of hiding the shoes, they would put a silver dollar in each one and see what the owner did when he discovered the money. So that's what they did. Pretty soon the man returned from the field, put on his coat, slipped one foot into his shoe, felt something hard, took it out, and found a silver dollar. Wonder and surprise shone upon his face. He looked at the dollar again and again, turned around and could see nobody, then proceeded to put on the other shoe. When to his great surprise, he found another dollar. His feelings overcame him. He knelt down and offered aloud a prayer of thanksgiving, in which he spoke of his wife being sick and helpless, and his children without bread. He fervently thanked the Lord for this bounty from unknown hands, and evoked the blessings of heaven upon those who had given him this needed help. The boys remained hidden until he had gone. They'd been touched by his prayer and felt something warm within their hearts. As they left to walk down the road, one said to the other, "Now really, don't you have a good feeling?"
Such a great story, right? And how can we learn from that? How can we think about small attitudes of kindness, of helpingness, where we can change our life this year? And how can we change someone who needs? And I can tell you, maybe we just have one silver dollar to help, or even we don't have any. But if we do something from our heart, that will be a start, like a drop in a waterfall. And I like to finalize my talk today reminding Jesus, because as the spirits say, he is the way, and he knowledge is the law of God. And here he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Let's keep that in mind and try to at least one act of good this year. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you, Rodrigo, for the nice talk and with lots of lessons and I guess a recipe for us for the year, I guess, right? To start with the right food. Yeah, I
Yeah,
even forgot it was the first talk, our first talk of the year. So happy New Year, everybody! A little bit
exactly.
late.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
starting. A lot of
yeah.
opportunities for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So we have I think a couple questions here, right? I think many were answered already along the talk, right? But um, so one here, right? And it's about the evil we see on the earth, right? So can you explore a little bit more? You already spoke a little bit, right? But
Sure, yeah. Well, first of all, thank you, Larissa, for this great question. For sure, yeah, we are seeing a lot of evil, but as I said, and all the teachings for the spirit, this evil is also opportunity. It's opportunity for the evil itself to evolve and become a better and become good, but also for us. If we are suffering actions from the evil, it's for sure the opportunity for us to develop more qualities. Maybe be more patient, maybe understand better each other, right? And if you feel we are better, we have a better, we are in a better situation that person who's given us that evil actions. The way we can practice is being good with them, right?
that's right. Yeah. I was thinking about the word miseries in the title, right?
Yeah,
Our own miseries, right? We see miseries around the world everywhere, but sometimes we also called the struggles we go through, our personal struggles, as miseries in our lives, right?
exactly.
So um, how can we make them to not feel a misery? Because it looks like it's a lesson, right? It's more of a lesson, the suffering we have. So any tips for us how we can change our mindset for that?
Absolutely, yes. We may are seeing a lot of miseries in our life, but probably we are not looking it completely, right? And also, when we start doing any action of charity, visiting place who have a great need, our life will change, not because nothing really changing, but because we are starting seeing people in a much worse situation, and we start thinking, okay, maybe my life is not that bad, right? I have a place, I have food in my table, I have family, I have friends, and even if I have difficult right now, I'm passing for that. This is also opportunity for ourselves to think, this is just temporary. Doesn't matter how bad it is, even if it will be with us during our entire material life. Even that is just for a moment, because we are spirit beings, and will be living our spiritual life later without any of these miseries. If you face them with the right feelings,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about the idea of the small Earth is like a small village,
Yeah,
and I was thinking, well, if Earth, which is big, is huge, right? We ourselves don't know all the countries, every single corner of Earth. It's a village. What are we, right? On Earth, if
exactly.
Earth is just a village,
Who
us
we are,
as
right? It is so
yeah,
small, right?
who
Yeah,
are we,
yeah,
right? And how big are we, right? And
yeah,
if we are small like that, how big is our one single problem we face in our life one day,
yeah.
when we compare to eternity, right? Because our life is eternal. So I I try to see to when I see a challenge, right? I try to look at that challenge and put into context of how big that actually is. Although we suffer, of course, right? We have concerns, right? For sure. It doesn't mean that we have to neglect our problems and our challenges, but it helps us to kind of understand the size of the struggle we face, and sometimes we need a leap of faith to actually remember that all the problems we face, they will go away at some point, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, when we see that teachings showing that we may see the earth as someone visiting a city and just see the hospital, right?
Yeah.
And that is a great teachings, because we can give ourselves a little bit peace of mind and understand, okay, maybe I'm just seeing a very small fraction of the life itself. And as you said, our problems, we cannot neglect that, for sure. We need to take care of our problems, trying to solve them, but with much more courage, because they are not that big, right? We can solve that, and there are people living much bigger problems without the same suffering we have.
Mm-hmm.
And for sure, learning about them, like these big souls like Mother Teresa, Chico Xavier, there are so many, Gandhi,
Mm-hmm.
they facing many problems, big problems, and never lost their hope. For sure we can do it. Maybe not the same, but something similar.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we have time for one last question here from Italo. So about angels. So are angels the pure spirits that we see?
Yeah, the angels, as we thank them as a being a perfect being, right, that help us, we can interpret these angels as evoluted spirits, purified one, but also, and here I like to say, we can be the angels right now, not that perfect angels, but that angels who help each other. For sure, if you go out and help someone, we can be the angel for that person, and we have the same feeling, right? When you have a big problem and someone come to us and help us, we will think, oh, this person is like an angel in my life, right? We can be an angel of each other today, for sure.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Rodrigo. Thanks for helping us to our path towards evolution, to be more evolved spirits. So hopefully we'll have many a good challenge. I like your challenge about do a good one good thing every day. So
Just
that's
one.
just one. So that's a good challenge for everyone here today. Okay.
Thank
So
you for the opportunity.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. So we'll continue then our meeting with the next stage, right, to our meeting, which is our um, spiritual treatment. So I'll just put this up here. So we are going to do our spiritual treatment. So what is the spiritual treatment is, let me just get here we go. So the our spiritual treatment is it's made of two things, right? So the first thing is the pass. Pass is a transfusion of spiritual energy that help us to recover balance physically, emotionally, and mentally. So through our audio, guided audio, we are going to mentalize in a state of prayer, and that will help us to receive good vibrations from the good spirits. The spiritual treatment is also made of magnetized water. So the water that we set aside also receive fluids, energy, good energy from the spirits, and that works as a remedy that help us heal and help us also to recover our balance. Okay, and that can be shared with the whole family. And for us to take the best from this spiritual treatment, it's important that we follow the guided audio, the instructions, and remain in prayer. And we can close our eyes during the guided mentalization, and that is also helpful. Okay, so we'll get started then. Um, now with a prayer, just to tune us in for the pass, for the virtual pass. Okay, so let's close our eyes. I invite everyone to find a comfortable position that we can relax and focus our attention to our pass, to receive the good vibrations from the good spirits. Dear God, thank you for giving us the spiritual remedy that we need to find balance in our imbalanced life, in the suffering of our spirits, in the way how we end up losing focus and energy. Thank you, dear God, because with this pass, we hope to refill our centers of energy with light, pure energy that can help us to face our daily lives with courage, with joy, and with faith. We ask the good spirits to be with us during this pass. So be it.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our spiritual center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The pass begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil, washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the pass. Thank you, God.
Okay, so we are coming to the end of our meeting. So I invite everyone for our to join me in our closing prayer. Dear God, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here tonight, to remind ourselves about our planet, our life on Earth, and the source of our struggles in daily lives. But thank you also, dear God, for reminding us that we have the tools to overcome any difficulty that we face, that we are given with the power, the willpower to move forward, to seek for a better life, and to improve ourselves. We thank, dear God, because we have teachings from our Master and friend Jesus that tell us to love each other, to be charitable, and to be good. With these tools, Master Jesus, we can overcome any struggles in our life, we can find joy in the simple things of our lives. And we can be sure that we are not alone. We are watched, we are cared for by invisible friends that are always near us, that we can reach out through prayer, through an elevated thought, to a good action, a kind action. For this, we are thankful because we can live a good life and be good every day. We are thankful, Master Jesus and dear God, for our lives that allow us this experience, that allow us to be every day a little bit better. We ask the blessings for our family, our friends, the places where we work, and we ask that we can have the good faith and the good actions everywhere we go. We are thankful for tonight's teachings and ask the good spirits to be with us today and always. So be it. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight, for joining us tonight. We'll be here next week at the same time on Tuesdays, and we hope to see you again. Have a good night.